The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and my nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. To I am, to I am. Who I am is fine with me.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Hey everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? So we want to welcome you to our show. This is episode 116 of What's the Story with Maria. We are on Armed Radio, armeddigitalmedia.com, Armed Radio Global, and we are coming to you live. So right now it's 9 p.m. Eastern in New York. And in LA, it's 3 hours behind, so it's 6 o'clock in LA. And the reason I even bring that up is because one of our guests is calling in tonight from Los Angeles. Leonard is going to call us. So we want to thank you for taking the time to come in, and we want to let you know that if you want to reach us, if you want to listen live, it's your TuneIn app. Ed Kutu has joined us from Blade Salon in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. David L. Slauson has joined us. Danielle Mazio has joined us. Rita Corneli-Berge in Massachusetts. That's my cousin. I apologize, guys. I'm a little froggy tonight. Billy Goffey has joined us. He's right up the street. So, yeah, you get your TuneIn app. You type in Armed Radio, and the show comes live over the TuneIn app. Janet Betta from Connecticut has joined us. Otherwise, watch us on Facebook, and you can listen to us live on your computer, armeddigitalmedia.com, Armed Radio Global. Those are the two ways that you can listen live. Also, Nicole Tortorisi. Hi, Nicole. Isabella Raskowski, that's my cousin in Massachusetts. Hi, Marisa. How are you, honey? So, those are the ways to listen. And then it gets digitalized into podcasts, and you can find us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. So please go and do that. All our shows are archived. Also, our friend Leo Rodriguez has put all of our episodes now. Every episode is up to date on our YouTube page, which is What's the Story with Maria. If you go to YouTube, you type that in. Every show is archived now. You can find us. Elvira Federico has joined us. Hi, Elvira. She's in Boston as well. Okay, I'm going to forge ahead now. Now that our regulars are in, and I may be, John Savino has joined us. Hi, John. How are you, honey? Happy anniversary. He and his wife celebrated their anniversary. And there he is. I was just yelling your name. Leo Rodriguez has joined us. Hi, Leo. How are you, honey? Okay, so who do I have with me tonight? My old buddy, Suzanne Mason, has joined us. My old buddy, Alex Carney. His stage name is Alexander D. Carney, if you're looking for him at any of the stage sites. And if you see him on television or in plays or in programs, that's what he'll be called. And I know him as Alex because we met more than 20
years ago.
Yeah, many, many, many years ago doing Tony and Tina's wedding. He was the stage
manager.
Yeah, time, and we became amazing friends, and we've stayed friends all these years. So now, Alex, you've been working on so much stuff. Alex got here a little early tonight. And we were able to talk about a lot of things. Now,
right.
You just finished the play?
Yes.
Do you want to start with that, or would you like to start with...
Let's start with what just finished.
Okay.
So the first thing I've been working on is I wrote a one-man show called Henslow, or A Lamentable Complaint, which is about Philip Henslow, the man who built the Rose Playhouse where Shakespeare's plays were first performed. And it just had a short run at Torn Page over on 22nd Street. Run by Tony Torn, the son of Geraldine Page and Rip Torn. Wow. It's their old home.
Oh, that's where the Torn Page comes
right,
from.
exactly.
How cool.
It's very cool. And so they've turned the salon downstairs into a very small performance space.
Wow.
And so I was privileged to be able to present my piece there. It's a one-man show for myself. I wrote it for myself about, as I said, Philip Henslow, and it went very, very well. We had 6 performances, and
I did not know who Philip Henslow was, but you did.
Yes.
And you did a lot of research on him,
Yes.
and now you wrote the play based on all the research.
Yes.
You
Well,
did.
I mean, we were talking before, it started when I was working in theater professionally, and then I had a moment, and decided that it was important for me to complete my education. And I went back to school, and I got a graduate degree in Elizabethan and Renaissance literature and performance, and an MFA in directing.
Can you imagine that?
And one of the things we studied was the commercial history of the early modern British theater, which is basically the study of this guy, Philip Henslow's diary, because this diary is the only record we have of how business was done. Now, if you imagine... Back then, at that time, I mean, as a
Let me stop you for 1 second. Stephen Daniello is joined us, Susan Campanero. We were talking about Susie.
Hi, Susie!
And Kim Alvarez, she's out in California. Kim, I'm going to be out in L.A. in a couple days. Okay, so this is the only record.
So it's the only record we have of how business was actually done. It has a listing of the takings we got this many shillings for this performance. This is these are the clothing that we have in the inventory.
Wow.
This is what's another good piece of that. He was also a money lender, so this also had a record of the actors he lent money to and what they gave him for that. So he had this going 3 ways. He owned the theater. His son-in-law was the leading player in that theater, a man named Ned Elaine. His daughter married that man.
Wow.
And he lent money to the actors. So he was getting money
this was a really, if this guy hadn't been there, we may not have Shakespeare.
Yes, because he's the first person to put Shakespeare's plays on stage that we have record of in London.
Right.
He was the first person to recognize that Shakespeare was Shakespeare, in essence.
So he was a producer, I suppose.
He was, in many ways, I think, the first modern theater producer.
Right.
He's more like an executive director. In other words, like for even though it was for profit, he sort of ran it. He had the whole thing under control.
Wow.
He was a really very interesting person.
Excuse me.
Once I was able, because I've done a lot of work backstage,
Yeah.
I made a career working behind the scenes before I returned to performing about 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's how I knew you. But then I knew you as an actor quickly after that. Let me just stop you for 1 second so I can acknowledge some of our new people that have come on. Mm-hmm. Cameron Eve Miller has joined us. Stephen Daniello, Michael Bowe. Mandar Chick Magnet has joined us. Mandar is talking about you as well. Leo is there. Frank Skillern has joined us. Jill Anderson, my friend from out in the Moorestown area. So many great people. So you wrote this play. It went up. But since I've worked with you, you've gotten 2 masters.
Yes. I finished my BA also.
Okay.
Because I hadn't done that.
And you also are teaching now.
Yes, I have an associate adjunct professor at Borough Manhattan Community College.
Which is a big deal. You're doing a lot.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And I'm continuing to work as a technical person also. Because, that's how we do it in the arts.
And today when you came in, you said, today you called, we talked, and you said, I'm going to be done with work at about 4:30. Can I come over early? I was like, sure. And I didn't know what kind of work you were doing today, but you were loading out.
Yeah, was working at Summer Stage, removing their end-of-season loadout, helping them get their stage and their lighting and their sound out of the building.
Okay.
That's my job.
Well, you see, when people sometimes will say to me, oh my God, you're so crazy, you have so many different jobs. That's kind of how it is in this town.
Yes.
There's very few people that I know that just have one job, even 2 jobs.
Yeah. I've found, like Maria, that the only really, not the only way, because I've gone through periods where I've had steady work as a performer or I've been directing. It's that there's always, the more things you do, the better off you are.
Yeah.
The better, it's good to have lots of things.
And also, when you said that, you also see the world through many eyes, even though sometimes I look at the world as a director, sometimes I'm in it as a writer, sometimes it's an actor. But when you have all those different skills and all those different angles, it makes for a better project and a better piece. Eugenia Mesa has joined us. We were talking about you, honey.
Hello.
You remember Alex, and I filled him in on all your adventures. So now Henslow has ended.
Henslow has ended.
And you're going to do it again?
Well, the plan is to do it again almost immediately. I have I've made some inquiries about a couple of bookings. I can't say because they're not set in stone yet. Mm-hmm. I'm working on getting this into colleges, both regionally and in the New York City system.
That's a wonderful idea.
It's,
how long is the show?
It's an hour. If an
perfect.
hour. 55 minutes. Depends on how fast I talk.
Perfect.
Julie
Cesari's joined us. You know who Julie Cesari was? She was the director of Tony and Tina's Wedding.
Oh, my God.
Alex was one of the stage managers. Hi, Julie.
Like a minute. Nice to meet you.
No, much longer than a minute. I wouldn't have.
Like 6 months, was that? Something like that? Okay.
Something like that. Julie, I'm going to be out in L.A. on Friday, me and Susie Camp. We're in a film festival. And actually, speaking of the film festival, Leonard's going to call in at 9:20. We'll talk about that as well. So, what we're talking about is if you have done all these different jobs or educated yourself on all these different things, you're going to have a different idea. You're going to have a more well-rounded idea.
Right. I mean, one of the other things is I also think it depends on who you are. Mm-hmm. That, like, some people tend to get more focused on one thing. I mean, I know for myself, I don't think I'd be happy with one thing, really. I need to teach. I need to coach actors. I need to direct. I need to act. Acting isn't like a want. It's something. I'd say it's going to
burst. That's how I feel about singing.
Right.
If I don't sing, I don't know what I do.
Exactly. So I always feel that with acting, it's like I'll always be an actor. I am an actor. Whatever else I do. I'm a technician. That's part of I've built that my hands to do that. My back. I mean, it sounds crazy. But if I don't labor, I don't feel right.
Yeah, and I want to ask you something about the both sides of that. First, my cousin Gina has popped on. There's certain things we do on the show, Alex. When my cousin Gina pops on, we clap. Gina Savino, everybody. Thank you. There she is.
All right, hi, Gina. I'm glad you're here. I feel privileged to be in your presence.
I know. Well, she is the best. Kimberly Cetron has joined us. Hi, Gina. Gina, did you see that funny video I sent you guys about the deer and their hairdressers, and I sent them this video about a deer in Long Island. This actually happened. Crashed.
Yeah. I saw that video.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Hysterical. It's crazy. You never know what's going to happen.
Were they working when that happened?
Yeah, the woman was just cutting hair.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine? But that's how it goes. So yeah, being an actor, being a stage manager, all those things.
Technician.
Do you feel like, for instance, I drive a car, but I'm also a pedestrian. I'm also a motorcycle enthusiast. Depending on what I'm doing in the day, I always feel like that is the most important thing.
No, I don't feel that. I feel that I must do... Actually, I get up in the morning and I write. I do that. That's the first thing I do. I mean, I have to have coffee so that I can write. But, I write for 45 minutes.
Oh, you do it regimentedly every day?
When I didn't when we were doing Henslow, because I needed to focus as an actor. There were some learnings I had from Henslow that required me to not do anything else. But now that I'm back, I'm writing every day. I write
and what
every
are you
day.
Writing?
Well, you're
new
always
stuff, or just getting your brain to the place
sometimes you gotta write just to write, and other times there's stuff that comes out. I mean, I'm not.
And you have a certain time of day you do this?
Before everyone is awake, before I'm awake, I have to do it.
That's amazing.
Every day, because that's what you do. If you write, you have to write. Hemingway said it. Writing is easy. You just have to stare at the page until drops of blood come out of your forehead.
Right.
And that's the time that's good for me.
Oh, my God.
Then I have to get ready for the day. I get up, I get in the shower, I eat some food, and, I get myself moving. And then usually when I'm not acting or auditioning or something, my day is I put on my work clothes and I go someplace and I lift heavy things and I do that. And there's no shame in it, really. I used to really feel like, I should just be acting. But, when I look back at the Elizabethans, all of them were tradesmen. They all did this kind of stuff. In fact, Ben Jonson, who was a great playwright back in the day, he took 10 years off. He worked as a stonemason. I feel that this is part of my nature and that it's an important part of my nature.
Yeah.
You know, I used to not try to kind of pretend it wasn't somehow, but it's who I am.
Well, there's so many actors that if you look back, even Google it, they all were working right before they became famous, too. A lot of them were like building closets, working in construction, whatever it was.
You have to remember Frank Langella was a Teamster.
Wow, I didn't know that.
In Bayonne, on the docks.
That's amazing.
Okay? So that's the deal. You know, we all got to work.
Okay, so I want to, Leo has posted the...
Raised Spirits Theater. This is my theater company. Another one of my activities.
See how great
Leo, you rock. Okay?
Leo, he's going to call you because he's got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I got some stuff. I definitely want to communicate with you. So the thing is, Raised Spirits Theater is a theater company I founded when I got out of graduate school so that I'd be able to have a place to direct. And it also, but it has a particular focus. It's classics by, for, and with all sorts of people. People of different colors, people of different physical challenge, people of different gender orientations, sizes, shapes, ages. One thing we did a reading of Romeo and Juliet with people over 60.
Wow.
You know, we did...
how cool is that?
Yeah, it's cool. We did a full-fledged production of Macbeth that had 7 people in it.
Wow.
3 of which, were not people you'd expect. I mean, I got to play Macbeth.
No, Leonard is calling us. Hold that thought. I'm going to go back.
Wow.
No, Leonard. Hi, Leonard. Let me put you on speaker, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Well, thank you for calling in, honey. I filled them in a little bit about why you're calling in and what you do, but I'm going to... I was talking mostly with Alex, so... This is Leonard Buschel. Leonard, do you go by Leonard Lee or just Leonard?
I go by Leonard
Okay.
Buschel.
So this is Leonard Buschel, and I'm going to meet Leonard out in L.A. for the Real Recovery Film Festival, which I'm going out there with Susan Campanaro. But Susan has been a friend of yours and speaks very highly of you.
Thank you. Likewise, I'm sure.
Now, Leonard... Leonard is you run you started the Real Recovery Film Festival. Is that correct?
I did 11 years ago in Los Angeles.
And this will be the 7th annual.
It's our 11th annual.
Oh, 11th annual. Wow. Okay.
7th year in New York.
Oh, okay. That's what I was looking at. But in LA, 11. Okay.
Yeah.
But you were a publisher. You were a photographer. You were a writer.
Yes.
You do many different things, but you started off as a photographer, is that correct?
When I was younger, I was a photographer in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah, for some underground newspapers when I got to interview and hang out with people like Captain Beefheart and John Cassavetes and Jenna Rowlands and Cat Stevens way back when. I'm aging myself here.
Yeah, well, I'm right there with you, honey. I know who all those people are. So, what came first, the writers in treatment or the Real Recovery Festival?
Writers in Treatment came first as an organization trying to get scholarships for people in the writing industry who needed help with their alcoholism or drug addiction.
Okay.
After about 9 months, I thought we need to do something to get some visibility for the organization. And we had very little money at the time. And I had this experience when I was newly in recovery of seeing Barfly.
I love that movie.
Trip me out,
yeah.
Trigger me, and I said, it's a great movie. People should see that movie on the big screen and not watch it alone on their DVD player.
Right.
Remember when there were DVD players?
Of course. I still have DVDs, Leonard.
I said, so let's show that. And most people have never seen The Lost Weekend on the big screen either. I said, so let's show that.
Wow.
I said, people haven't seen Days of Wine and Roses, which we're actually having a screening of this year in Los Angeles as our one nod to the old classic Hollywood movie. But several years ago, of course, we had to show Less Than Zero.
Great film.
Robert Downey Jr.'s Art Following Life or Life Following Art, incredible performance.
Incredible. He's one of my favorite people of all time. My favorite actors, I just think he's incredible. Oh,
on the Harvey, what's his name? The DJ who just wrote a book. Very famous DJ from Jersey or New York. Howard Stern. He just did a beautiful interview on the Howard Stern show. Not that I'm plugging another competitive radio show, Maria.
Oh, I don't care, honey. There's room for all of us. I believe in abundance.
Okay.
I don't compete with anyone but me.
I don't know if Oprah would agree with that, but fine, you do. You're a
I do my thing. But Leonard, every one of those movies that you mentioned are on my favorite films of all time list, and I agree with you.
Not just the whole movies; they're all incredible films.
But when you do a film festival, what you're doing is there's a community happening as well. People are gathering together, like you said. They're not just home alone watching. It's a community. There's something. There's hope in what you're doing. That's the difference.
And this year in New York, we have 88 films that we're showing in a 7-day period from 1 in the afternoon till 10 o'clock at night. And after every film, if the filmmaker can't be there, we have a clinician do an interactive, collaborative talk with the audience.
Wow.
So everybody gets to participate.
That's amazing. And the one in New York is going to be November 3rd. Well, November 1st through the
7th.
Okay. So we're going to post, Leo is going to help us out. He's going to post all those sites, the Real Recovery Filmfestival.org. That's going to come up. There's one in LA happening this week. I'm going to be out there for that. I'm so excited.
Where are you staying when you're in town?
I'm going to stay with my friend Michael Leon Woolley. And I don't know exactly, but he lives pretty close by. So he just bought a house, and I'm looking forward to staying with him. He's a good friend from 20 years. We've been great friends. So I'm really looking forward to
you and Susan and your whole cadre.
Yeah, me too.
Your whole entourage, your entire cast, and your chorus line that I know you're bringing with you.
I will be bringing Can girls. Just get ready.
So we're starting at 5 o'clock with Susan's movie, with your movie.
Yep.
It's going to be fabulous, and then we're going to go to this fabulous old bank.
I can't wait. And then after that,
we'll do a restaurant.
And then Rocket Man is right after that, right?
And then we're going to have a reception and food, and then Rocket Man.
Wow.
Have you seen Rocket Man?
I did, and I loved it, and I can't wait to see it again.
I've seen it twice in the theater, and I can't wait to see it again.
It's fantastic.
I've been, posting some trailers and some clips, and just the clips make me can't wait to see it again. I just want to hug everybody in it.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
well, Leonard,
and the music, you forgot how many incredible songs that he created a soundtrack to some old people's lives.
Yeah, well, that was the soundtrack of my youth, and most of my life. I mean, I am a huge Elton John fan, and I love that he's in recovery, and I love that he's so positive, and I'm just so excited to come out there, and I personally want to thank you for including us, and I can't wait to be part of all of, and see the other movies and just enjoy everything.
And let me just tell all of your fans, it shows at 5 o'clock in North Hollywood, and we promise it's a Friday in LA. There will be no heavy traffic.
Promise. That is a promise from Leonard to you.
Be like the Red Sea. The roads will just open, and your rental car will just float right to the theater.
I can't wait. Now, but the trick is to get there early. That's all. Get there early, go have a cup of coffee, and then come to the theater. So we will see you in Los Angeles this Friday. I will also see you. Will you be in New York when the film festival is here as well?
Yeah, my name's on it. I gotta go.
Okay, good.
I love it.
All right, so I'll get to hug you twice.
We're having a fabulous reception there on November. We have the great Boston Celtic, Chris Herron's movie, and we have Chris coming in person, and we have the ESPN director, Jonathan Hawk, will be there.
Wow.
And we rent out this fabulous Numero 28 pizzeria.
Oh, I love their pizza. It's great.
Right on 2nd Avenue. And we have a ball, and then we go watch the Chris Herron movie which is spectacular.
I can't wait. This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is really
I can't
amazing.
wait,
Well,
to do this again in person.
Okay, and thank you, Leonard. And what we're going to do now is, Leo, I think, has already started posting things. So we will
Do you
just.
have any questions from the audience?
Let me see. Yeah.
Because we answer all questions here with or without actual knowledge or factual information regarding the answer.
Okay, so we have a lot of people that come in. If they want to type in questions for Alex, do you have any questions for Leonard? Alex is an actor and a director and a writer.
It's a fascinating what you've accomplished, and I want to congratulate you first of all. But here's
appreciate that.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that. You know, it's a lot of behind the scenes work.
Right.
You know, we have 88 films, which meant we've literally dealt with or spoken to, and 70 filmmakers. We get films from the Ukraine, which I know is in the news.
Wow.
Australia, Ireland. We get submissions from all over.
Where do you get them? Do you solicit
Watch a lot
them?
of movies. Pick out the 88 that we show.
How many films were submitted?
This year, over 100.
Over 100. And
Over
is
150.
150. And what was your criteria? Like, what is it that you were looking for? Why some and not others? In general, I mean,
First is an honest depiction of whatever situation is being portrayed. We don't want movies that glamorize drugs or minimize.
Right.
We want honest depictions. We don't want too many
Right.
exaggerations, although,
Right.
a little exaggeration when it comes to movie making is okay.
right,
But mostly that it feels real and honest.
right,
The second criteria is that it's entertaining. It's not an after movie special.
Right.
Some of them weren't entertaining. It has to be interesting. I tell you, in 10 years, I've rarely ever seen a person walk out of a film because they didn't like it. There's something there that's going to hold your attention. So that's it. So mainly it's honesty, entertaining. Sometimes they're inspirational, but dealing with addiction, not always.
right.
Well, maybe it's like a negative kind of inspiration to not do that anymore, or not do that.
Yeah, some aspects of addiction can be very ugly indeed. Very ugly.
And as long as it's honest, that's the first criteria, is always honesty.
Right. I would ask.
Nice folks going drops dead. We're not going to show that movie, unless of course they explain that it was cut with fentanyl.
There you go. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, honest movies, realistic. Sometimes they're compassionate about the subject. Sometimes the subject, there's no compassion for it because it's such a brutal illness.
You make me think about a film I saw a few years back about a young woman who was a prostitute. It was caught in the sex trade, and I can't remember the name. It wasn't in English. I think it was in Russian. And
The Sound of Music.
That is so close, though. We're so close.
But the thing was that it was not sympathetic. It was not pretty. But it was deeply arresting because it caught the subject.
Was it Cherry Baby?
What?
Was it Cherry Baby?
No, I don't.
No, I can't remember.
But the point that you're making is that it was honest.
Right.
And it's just you're really looking at.
You've certainly piqued my interest. I think I'm going to make an effort to show up on what day in November is it again?
November. Go ahead, Leonard. When does it start in November?
We're there all day, 7 days in a row.
Okay.
And on the Sunday, everyone can remember November 3rd.
Yep.
It's the day of the New York Marathon, which ends in the early afternoon.
Okay.
That day in New York is all New York filmmakers.
Wow.
And it's Susan's film, and it's a guy named Neil Hempel's film, it's Issa's film, it's all sober New York filmmakers.
Yeah.
So come support your locals.
And I can't wait. And I'm from Boston originally, so that Celtics.
It's only $10, and you can stay for as many films as you'd like.
I mean, that right there is a total steal. $10, you can stay for as many films as you like. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so I'm really looking forward to that.
The Village East down at 2nd Avenue and 12th Street.
Which I love. That's a beautiful theater.
Yeah, classic. So I know you have listeners and viewers everywhere, but for your New Yorkers, We're there for a week, November 1st and November 7th.
And Leonard, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow. I love Philly.
A suburb of New York.
Yeah. And when did you move out to L.A.?
I moved to the Bay Area 20-some years ago. I moved to the Bay Area where I was for 15 years, near San Francisco, just north of San Francisco.
Wow.
It was actually while I was living in Marin County that I guess I had a bottom and ended up at a 28-day rehab called Betty Ford.
Wow.
And something happened there that I haven't picked up since.
Oh, it's amazing. Now, someone is asking, there's a question from one of the viewers is asking, do you have partnerships with treatment centers or substance abuse counselors at the event that anyone involved in the films, if anyone involved in the films are in need of help? So are there connections to counselors? Information?
I'm a certified California counselor.
Okay.
Someone needs to talk about something, I'm always available.
All right,
during
cool.
or after the films. We have a number of clinicians that come, like I mentioned before. We don't have a filmmakers talking after the film. We have a clinician from the neighborhood.
Wonderful.
Doing a Q&A with the audience and, sort of it's what I call a mini process group after each film.
Wow, that's really great.
If somebody needs to talk, we're available.
I can't wait.
Have, connections with, some of our sponsors are treatment centers, but they're not, on site, ready to, do anything of that. We're there to help, and we certainly have phone numbers and people we can have people call if they want to decide to start a different kind of life. Because recovery, as you know, is a life-changing experience.
Absolutely.
And hopefully, in many cases, in my case, it was a life extension.
Yeah.
That life extension shit?
Yeah, I know it very well, Leonard. I'm going to have 30 years this month. So
fantastic. And since it is Yom Kippur, I will say Mazel Tov.
Well, thank you, sir. Happy New Year to you as well. And I look forward to seeing you this coming week. And good luck with everything. And we're going to get the word out. We're going to post a lot of stuff about this.
Yeah. Like I said, we're there from 1 o'clock in the afternoon. If you're not working, come by and check us out.
Yeah. Okay, I can't wait. Thank you so much for taking the time to call in.
Hey, Maria, anytime. Talk to you. I can't wait to meet you. See you soon in beautiful downtown Northwood, California.
Yeah, I love Cali. I can't wait to come out. Okay, honey, thank you for calling in.
Nobody calls it that, but that's okay.
No? Well, I just did, so I'll start something.
Frisco is Frisco, but Cali is a form of, it's a very exotic form of marijuana that I used to sell.
You know what, though? In New York, we call it Cali.
All right. Cali.
It's a New York thing.
Cali. He wasn't a very nice person.
No.
Anyway, God bless you all. See you soon.
All right, sweetheart. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so that was Leonard Buschel. So there's a lot. I'm actually really, really, really glad he called in because I wanted to get the information out, and I knew he would be the guy to do it. But also, there were things that I didn't know. I didn't realize how many films are under this umbrella.
Right.
And you asked great questions.
Thank you.
Really great questions.
It's
criteria.
Fascinating.
It is fascinating.
And I'm going to go.
Are you?
I'm going to go.
Okay. Well, that would be amazing. So all are welcome. Well, and I'm going to be posting stuff about it all week. You'll see it on my Facebook wall. I put it on the What's the Story with Maria wall as well. And let me go back and see. I also want to go back and see what people are posting. So Leah Doik has joined us. Hi, Leah. How are you, sweetheart? She's out in Jersey. She's a sweet, sweet person. She's a friend of Judy's, but she's a friend of mine, too. Michael Vaccaro is in L.A. He's a big, famous person.
I know. Do I know Michael?
You probably do. He's a great actor. And also a great singer, but he's out in L.A. now. But he's going to be on the show the week before Christmas. I cannot wait.
Cool.
And I got and John De Palma's going to join us as well. That's going to be a real for the 2 Italians. Actually, it'll be 3 Italians the week before Christmas. Can you imagine?
The Holy Trinity.
It really will be the Holy Trinity. Let me see, Leo. So Leo's posted a lot of the sites. Mandor says he is a certifiable nutcase. Thank you, Mandor. We believe you and we love you for it. Okay, so thank you for putting all that up. All right, so Alex, now as a director, since we've talked to Leonard as well. He's directing. I mean, running that whole show.
Yeah, quite a lot.
That's a lot to. So he's inspired by that, making sure that people are that there's messages and things.
Right.
What is it as a director? Like when you direct a piece, how do you choose the pieces you direct? Do people come to you and choose you?
Well, when I direct, it's all self-generated, and the things that move me, meaning, I find it, I mount it, I produce it, I rewrite it.
Wow.
I mean, I'm kind of that's what works for me. So material that's interesting to me is classic material because it's all about sex and violence.
That's true.
It's all about sex and violence, and that sounds reductive, right? It sounds simple, but what's interesting to me in theater is the power of sex and the power of violence. Now, sex is made up of many things. Violence is made up of a lot of things. Violence is communication. Sex is the result of communication.
That's interesting.
Violence is a kind of communication. When somebody chops off somebody's head and gouges their eyes out after they've, this is really revolting, and I apologize.
The classics we're talking about, not in real life. Don't try this in real life.
That's what they do to Macbeth at the end. They chop his head off. What is that? Why is that? That's fascinating to me.
Wow.
As a director.
Yeah.
The other thing is coping with extreme situations and difficult people. Because there's a lot of different kinds of violence. Violence isn't as simple as I hit you with a rock. I can be emotionally violent. I can be emotionally abusive. I can be sexually violent. I can be sexually abusive. I can use sex as a manipulation. And all kinds of situations that you wouldn't think of involving sex and violence, use them.
Right.
Like when you're talking business.
But you're talking specifically in the classics.
Yeah, but the classics are a frame for me. Okay?
Right.
In other words, all I want to do is I want to find, like right now, the play that's most interesting to me is King Lear. Because my father is in advanced Alzheimer's. I've been working with this play, thinking about this play now for a couple of years. I will do something with it at some point. I'll probably redact it down to 3 people, okay? Because it's the process of a person's mind betraying them. And but them going from being a jerk, a horrible person, to some level of acceptance and forgiveness. So that process of their mind going purifies them.
Right. Wow.
See, so that's interesting to me as a director.
And it does happen quite often with people as they age.
Right.
I find that to be true. People soften a lot.
Or it goes the other way.
Yeah, that people,
your true nature comes out.
Yeah, one way or the
other. And that's fascinating to me as a director. That's fascinating to
me. And, also as a playwright, like Joe Gulla, I noticed Joe Gulla's here. Joe Gulla is a playwright. He's been on the show. He's a really funny guy.
Cool.
But Arlene's joined us. Arlene Gomez, Maria Filiomeni, hi, sweetheart. But all that stuff. Tonight we're really focusing on actors.
That's the other thing. I'd say that as a director, like when I'm I write for particular actors. I have a particular image in mind. Then when I'm directing a piece, I have to think about who I want to work with. Do you know?
Right.
It has to be something. I can't just make up. I can't just decide I'm going to have an idea. It's all about the connection. Like when you're acting, you need to be connected to the other person.
Right, of course.
So, and the director is in that system. They're just not.
But you said something to me earlier that I just loved. You talked about creating the river. About when you direct.
Coaching with actors, yes.
Okay, so let's talk about. Well, first of all, I have to take a break because we have to do our food section.
Oh, food!
And when we come back, we're going to talk about the coaching that you're doing and the acting school.
Coaching, acting, and all that good stuff.
These actors are so intense, aren't they? Oh my God. All right, so what did I make tonight? Alex, I always ask for restrictions, allergies, preferences. You already ate. He came from work, so I fed him right away. Usually people wait till after the show, but he's been working all day. Okay, so your restrictions were that you... Tell me your restrictions.
No potato, no corn, no wheat, no lactose.
Okay.
I mean, I'm that guy. I can't have anything.
It's all right. It worked because I'm still on the keto diet. So, what did I make for Alex? I made a delicious strip steak there with marinated in. I'm going to read it because if I don't write these things down now.
It was so good. It was
he loved it. He had 2 plates. So I marinated this in cumin, coriander, herbed oil. I bought this beautiful herbed oil.
So good.
And garlic. And then I took the little baby red, orange, and yellow peppers and a Spanish onion, and I caramelized those and put all of that over quinoa brown rice. So that is that. How delicious is that? Look at that. Take a gander.
Nice.
I'm going to eat that after.
Nice.
And then for salad, what did I make for salad? A spring mix. So that's got like all kinds of baby arugula, baby chard, Swiss chard, little red leaf there, and then English cucumbers, grape tomatoes, and I put roasted seaweed, which I love. That makes more like an Asian flavor. Right. So I'm personally, for myself, going to do rice vinegar and avocado oil.
What did I do? I did pear vinegar?
You did a fig, because I let him choose his vinegar.
I've never had it before. It was fantastic.
Fig vinegar and extra virgin olive oil. See, you got to choose, which doesn't usually happen.
Ugh.
Just a little salt, pepper. You are all set.
All good.
All right, so let's see. I want to go... yes, Mandar is flirting with you, Susie. That is for sure. Okay, so there's a lot of artists out here on our feed, and they are hopefully... We're going to see you at all these shows. Okay, so now I want to go back and talk about your acting school and how people can get in touch with you. Okay. What you do? What do you do when you coach? Go ahead.
Right. First off, you can find me at www.carneyactingstudio.com.
All right, so
www.carneyactingstudio.com. Okay. That was for Leo.
Yes, I know. Okay. Or Mandar. Sometimes Mandar beats him to it.
So here's the deal. When I'm working with actors, I'm not really teaching, because you don't really teach an actor. You're not teaching an actor. You're helping them find the thing, whatever the thing is. In other words, you know what you're doing. Everyone knows. I mean, it's not like... I mean, there are things one can learn about the classics, about how they're structured and this, that, or the other thing.
There's your acting, there it is. Leo's posted it. Leo,
you're the man,
fantastic.
Leo. So there's things that an actor can learn about how classical versus structure. But let's say we're working with a modern monologue, right?
Right.
The soul of it, the heart of it, is you.
Yeah.
Right? It's you. It's something you need to find. You need to find what that is. That's true in an audition. It's all about you.
Yeah.
Now, it isn't...
That's a very good point.
It isn't that when you're in a play, you're actually doing you.
Right.
But you use you, right? There's nobody else here. It's your body, it's your
You're
voice.
the vehicle.
Yeah,
so
and your stuff, your emotions drive it, right? So who am I who have just met you to tell you what to do?
Right.
We got to help you find out what you need to do.
Right. So you help people. You navigate.
Right.
You help them navigate through.
Help them
and
navigate
channel.
through.
What's their channeling?
Like you said the word I used before was that they're on a river.
Right.
They're on a
That's
river.
What I love that.
And that. I mean, like for instance, we talked about singing, right? Singing is really acting in pitch and in time.
Yeah, okay? I love that too.
So, but the advantage with the singing is the music tells you sort of what the feeling is.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Well, acting doesn't exactly work like that. It may go exactly opposite the words. It may go completely counter. This words may be "I'm so happy," and it might be "I'm so happy." You know,
right.
Whatever it is getting you to a point where you are sure that this is what you want to do.
Right.
Now, there are other values at work, like if, let's say, working for an audition, you can help people by showing them what's wanted.
Right.
You see, like with an audition, this is wanted. This is the thing that they're asking you to do.
Right. But most times they don't even know what they want.
Well, but you still have to do you. You still have to do the thing that you do. That's not going to change. Yep.
Liz Singer has joined us. Happy birthday, Liz. I know your birthday was yesterday.
Liz Singer, do I know you?
That's Susie Campanero's sister. Liz Singer. She's in Florida. Do you know Liz?
I don't know. I feel like I've met you, Liz.
You may have. You may have met her. Leonard has joined us again. Hi, Leonard. Mm-hmm. And thank you. If you scroll up, Leonard, you'll see all the posts for the real recovery. Also, I was working with Leo today on his one-man show. And Leo, if you want to post your how for people to get tickets to your one-man show, which actually I'm directing, I'm very proud of that. It's a great show. Yeah. So, but we were talking about, like, the thing I was talking to you about Leo today. The thing about Leo is he's a director himself. He's a writer. He's an actor. But it's kind of piggybacking on what you're saying. So in this world of actors and creating pieces, a lot of us have worn many, many hats. Right. But it's helping us navigate our way through, or being the eyes. Like Chris DiPiero, as a matter of fact. We talk about Chris DiPiero all the time. He's an amazing filmmaker, and he does so many funny movies that we've been in and been part of. And he was the cinematographer, and this is actually a Chris DiPiero film that Susie and I did, because he was our cameraman. Also, he has these great ideas for angles, for situations, for, and that as a filmmaker, from a filmmaker's eyes, because I'm not necessarily a filmmaker, I'm a songwriter.
You're a songwriter and you're an actor.
Right.
Like the thing is that one of the things about acting is knowing what the job is. The job is to show up here and to live.
Yep.
It's to live. It's to show up and breathe and do the thing that you've been asked to do. Yeah. And not worry about the lights, not worry about the camera, not... Like, sure, you're going to be nervous. I mean, only a dead person wouldn't be sort of nervous until they're used to this situation. But to kind of just keep going and do your job.
But you know what I feel? And Richard Skipper's joined us. Hi, Richard Skipper.
Richard Skipper, the man
who missed the
Skipper? Of course I know Richard Skipper.
Everybody knows Richard. He's so cool.
The man who said, you're a stand-up guy in a sit-down world. I like you.
Wow.
Richard
said that about you?
You're the man.
That's a big deal. He's very cool, and Richard and I were talking yesterday.
I support his objective to get oh God, Hello Dolly.
The book. The book. It's called Call on Dolly.
He's the Call on Dolly. This is the man. Okay.
Yes, he's writing a book.
More about Hello Dolly. Anyone on the planet.
Absolutely.
A true enthusiast. He's a good man.
All right, Leo, thank you for posting that. So Leo Rodriguez has a one-man show.
Okay.
November 4th. It's a Monday at the Duplex. And December 5th, Leo? It's all up there. But we're very excited about it. It's going to be really cool. You know what I feel like as I get older, maybe because I've been doing this a long time, it's either that or it's what we were talking about before, feeling more comfortable in your own skin.
Yes, absolutely.
The older I get, the more comfortable I feel with me.
Right.
And that now when I act, I'm just in it. I don't think about it anymore. I don't watch myself from the sidelines. I don't edit. Right. I simply am a vehicle.
Right.
And whatever, a channel, that's it.
Right.
Whatever comes through, comes through. I mean, this is my mantra. I always do it right before I do something really important. I say, God, make me a channel of your message, not my ego.
See, there you bring up a really interesting point. I had a really big, profound piece of learning on Henslow just now.
Okay.
I can't learn anything faster than I can learn it.
Right.
I can't do anything. I can't put anything together faster than I'm going to put it together.
Right.
I can't will it. I can't finagle it.
Creatively speaking, we can't.
Do my instrument, my body, my voice, my mind, my heart will not put anything together.
Right.
Faster than it will let me. Now, and then also you bring up this thing. I wanted to talk briefly about being comfortable in your own skin. I am a particular way. I'm about.
When's your birthday?
I'm Virgo.
Okay.
September
That
18th.
makes sense.
But I'm a particular way about the show business.
Okay.
I'm a particular way. I'm passionate about the classics, but I'm also a Mama Luke. Do you know what I mean? I'm kind of the way I am is a lot. Okay, and I've always been this way.
Okay,
and I had
you're
problems.
intense.
I'm intense, and I had problems with that when I was younger.
In what way? How did it manifest when you were
maybe
younger?
I don't want to piss people off. Oh, it's just a little much. Oh, God, Alex,
So did you edit yourself more when you were younger in the arts? Right, so did I.
And this all would come out in like incredibly inappropriate
We were
ways.
talking about this earlier.
Right, exactly.
Just that squashing yourself.
Into a box that you don't fit.
Right.
So this is what I've found now at this stage of the game. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
It's
this is how it
acceptance.
is.
It's acceptance.
It's acceptance, because this is the other thing. I can't force myself into be an actor that I'm not. I can't force myself to be a director that I'm not. I can't be a person that I'm not.
Right.
I can't. It's not even like a question even of acceptance after a certain point.
Yeah.
This is the deal. And this has made my journey through the business of show a
Right.
lot easier. You know?
Yeah.
A lot easier.
Well,
I am a stagehand who's also an actor, who's
I know,
also a
you
writer,
wear a lot
who's
of
also
different
a director.
hats.
That's what I am. That's what I am.
And I've said this myself because I do a lot of different things. Whatever I'm doing at that moment is what I'm doing.
Right.
And you can't. One of the best things advice that people told me was just be where you are.
Right.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Just
Right.
be in your body, because it's so easy not to be present, to be somewhere else,
Right.
to start analyzing what you did wrong 10 minutes ago. Just be in where you are, complete that task,
Right.
give it your all,
Right.
do it with heart and soul, put your signature on it, go on to the next task.
Yeah.
Like every day, like this week is going to be absolutely insane.
Right.
I have the show tonight. Tomorrow I'm teaching. Tomorrow night, in the middle of the night, I go to the airport, fly to LA. We do all that. I come back in less than 48 hours because I have to work.
Right.
And, but it's okay because I'm going to be everywhere I'm supposed to be.
Right. There it is.
And I'm going to enjoy it and photograph
is.
it and learn from it.
See, that's the other thing, is my friend Shireen Snow says, I do what is in front of me.
Yeah.
And that to me is profound. I do what is in front of me.
Do the next right thing. Susie always says that.
Boom. Right next. What is it now?
Yeah.
Now, and that's where it's at.
Especially if you become overwhelmed, like we have
Right.
about 4 minutes left for our show.
Ah,
So,
gone by like
I know, I told you it was going to
said.
go by so fast. Okay,
So can I sum up?
yes, please
So
sum
I'm
up.
available for coaching.
Okay,
I'm also available to work on your one-man show
as a director,
as a director or as a dramaturge.
fabulous. That's
Okay,
really good.
Those are things I want to do for you, with you, if that's what you're about.
Right.
And that can be reached out through www.carneyactingstudio.com.
Right.
And that's in the links right there.
Yeah, Leo's put all those links in. Thank you, Leo Rojas. He is our accident. I was telling Alex how he was first our accidental intern and has earned his place as the accidental assistant. Today, he was here today. We were working on his show, which was great.
Right.
And also, oh my God, Leo, we worked on merchandise. So, what's the story with Maria? Now we'll have merchandise. Leo has posted that link on the What's the Story with Maria page, which, by the way, please go and like our page on Facebook, What's the Story with Maria. Go like us on Instagram, What's the Story with Maria there. Those are the two places that we would love to see you. And we'll post a lot of information there. We're going to have merchandise for the holidays, so we're going to start ordering that right away. And there's just so much that's going on all the time. So please just stay in touch with us. If there's something that you want us to know about, please reach out to me and let me know of things that are happening. Because we want to promo. I love to promo my friends and let the world know what's happening. New York is a fascinating place. Mm-hmm. The whole country. People that are artists I always say the mission of my show is to celebrate creative people. The reality of living, thriving, and surviving as a creative person. Now, Alex, I always ask people to give people some words of encouragement out there that maybe are stuck or just starting out, or...
1,
go ahead.
Be encouraged. 2, it's only over if you say it's over. I was a technician for almost 15 years. I had left acting. I had left the quote unquote creative part of the business, and I worked behind the scenes. And one day I said, I want more, and I went and I did that. The other thing is that everything is a rehearsal. There is no such thing as a finished product.
Wow, that's the opposite of what we usually hear. So thank you.
See, we live in a society that tells us things have to be finished and are perfect.
Yeah.
Right? Well, that's not how a creative person, my experience of being creative, has worked. Nothing is finished.
Wow, I love that.
Meaning I am always working on my work.
Well, you know what? The great philosophers, and also there are great people out there like the James Van Praagh, who I love, and also Dr. Dwayne Dwyer, who I know has passed away, but I listen to his podcast and just stays with me. He feels the same way. These great people that I'm inspired by are always that you're being. You're always evolving. You're always growing. You're always changing. Everything is a process. And that's what we're doing. So not to think of something as this is, I'm not doing. Like, I can't tell you how many people say to me, oh, I don't do that anymore. Or I stopped doing that. And I always say, a car is still a car, whether it's in the garage or on the road. An artist is still an artist. Whether you're on the stage or sitting on the sidelines.
I'd also say
that.
I'd say this. Anything worth doing is worth doing badly.
Okay, well, I've never heard that, but Angelo in Australia has joined us. Hi, Angelo. His son was on. You got to start somewhere.
And the task for someone doing something creative is to let your ability catch up with your taste.
Ah.
Right? In other words, we all have these, we know in our heart what we want to do.
Hold on one second. Hey, Jimmy, how much time do we have?
You got a minute.
Okay, thank you very much. So I want to thank Alexander D. Carney. If you want to find him, you find him on all those sites that Leo posted. I'll give you your website one more time.
www.carneyactingstudio.com.
I want to thank Leonard Buschel of the Real Recovery Film Festival.org. Please come and see our films and all the films. There's so many great days. They're going to be in New York. We posted all of it. It's going to be in LA this week. We love and appreciate you. Please come back every week, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here, Facebook Live, Armed Radio, armeddigitalmedia.com. We will see you next week at 9 p.m. Eastern. Take care. This is Maria, and we love and appreciate you.